Kahalo Yahweh Bashimi Awashai Bashima Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your life may be. Now, what you're looking at is 60 Minutes Australia. And the reason I mentioned, damn, comments are turned off, huh? uh, it's crazy that you get more news about Babylon outside of Babylon than inside. And I did a video, maybe two prior, about propaganda or public relations. So let's grab, we'll get to, what is his, I forget how to spell his name. Is it Edward Bernays? Or we'll say Bernays. Hold on. Can we do that? Talk to me. Get the fuck out of here. Look at that. Ain't that's the spirit right there. Who would have thought? And I did mention that you could bring it, look it up on PDF. I thought they would have taken this down by now. But as you can see, this is what I want. Look at it. Organizing chaos, the new propagandist, the psychology of public relations, business and the public, propaganda and political leadership, women's activities and propaganda. Look at that. For education, art and science, the mechanics of propaganda. Short read, 150 pages. Okay. Um, I don't remember where some key points were. Let's see. The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested largely by men we have never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized. Vast numbers of human beings must cooperate in this manner if they are to live together smoothly functioning as a smoothly functioning society. Our invisible governors are, in many cases, unaware of the identity of their fellow members in the inner cabinet. That's crazy. That's secretive. That's secretive. They govern us by their qualities of natural leadership, their ability to supply needs, ideas, and by their key position in social structure. Whatever attitude one chooses to take towards this condition, it remains a fact that in almost every act of our daily lives, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in our social conduct or our ethical thinking, we are dominated by the relatively small number of persons, a trifling fraction of our 120 million who will, that's that. Look, it's even more now. Um, but yeah, we're not gonna read this whole thing. That's not what this is about. But controlling information, controlling the minds, right? Throttling things that you get to see, get to hear, get to be exposed to, um, which will eventually, they'll throttle this even more, and that you'll have your famine of the word, right? And then you won't be able to pull these videos or the videos about the truth or gaining understanding or having a biblical context added to the the day, the ways of this life, the ways of this world, basically, especially with the wicked being set up above it. Sorry, I should have took my inhaler. I have some little breathing problems, but anyway. Now, I said all of that to say that 60 Minutes Australia, I don't remember seeing this thing came out almost a month ago. No coverage, no huge coverage, and that they love, there's always some sort of distraction, right? Whether it be games, bread and circus, right? Or they miss, speaking of, right here. Carmelo Anthony to appeal conviction, right? And then putting him in a jury of none of his peers. All right, doing things like that, provoking you, all these things that they do. All right, while sleight of hand, they pass these laws to put you further into captivity, take away more and more of your rights, and take and mine more and more of your information. Okay, knowledge on people, understanding, having people's data is more economic than money itself. All right, to know what people want to buy, to be able to get an insight, because they've molded all of this. Now I don't want to get a strike on here, so let's go ahead and let's let it play in the background on mute. But there's here you got the closed caption here, and before we go on, and I had just read this too. Blessed is the man that not slip with his mouth. I think this is. Let me. I gotta find. But this actually checks out Ecclesiasticus Sirach or Sirach chapter 14 and 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard. And what should an envious man do with money? Well, things on islands and huge ranches. Okay. And you see, they keep showing these young girls like between the ages of 13 and 16. But it's some sick, absolutely sick, debased things that these devils do, and it is in them. And there's this girl that's on Instagram that highlights, so-called YT crimes, and it's always about an animal or a child. Every time you turn around, an animal or a child. Man, Job, the dogs of my flock. Um, we need that. So Job 30 and 1. But let me find what I needed out of Ecclesiastes. And, bear with me. I think I'm going to be jumping around. I can already tell this is what it's going to be. Let me pause that. Yeah, let me pause that. And you can, I'll try my best to remember to link this, and you can watch this on your own. It's less than 30 minutes. Yeah, it's less than 30 minutes. Okay. Let's see. He that gathers by defrauding his own soul gathers for others, right? And that also will give you, the kingdom is because riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another, right? He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? And I did a video yesterday. I think I just didn't upload it. I think it's a very short one, just something real quick to get a couple basic scriptures. That's kind of what I've been doing throughout the week. Um, you can see once they have nobody to devour, they devour themselves. All these different nations have independence days or holidays from so-called white tea people. So as soon as they run out of an enemy, they make enemies of themselves. Greco-Roman history is the perfect example. There was and I said it before, there's so much backstabbing and stealing of each other's wives and killing each other's brothers, all for the pursuit of control and power. Because these motherfuckers can't chill. Habakkuk 2 and 5, day in and day out. If he does, yeah, and I did need this. Okay, he that is evil to himself, to whom will it be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doth good, he doth it unwillingly. And at the last he will declare his wickedness. The envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. Not satisfied with his portion. That is them. If you had to put a brief synopsis in a dictionary under YT or Edom, not satisfied with his portion should go right up under it. And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his table. And if you don't, can you do lookup on this? No, you can't. Job 30:1, and then we'll get we'll just do a simple niggard. In English, a niggard is a noun that means a stingy, ungenerous, or excessively parsimonious person, commonly known as a miser. Derived from Middle English, implies someone who is reluctant to give, spend, or part with things. A miser. What else is what's parsimonious? Ask Gemini. I ain't asking you shit. I thought it was a lookup button on here. Guess not. Parsimonious. Someone who is extremely reluctant to spend money or use resources. Right? Or they'll hoard them and tell you not to use them. Well, they got everything they could ever ask for, yet the middle class, or the so-called middle class, the poor that are now poor, those are the ones who pay the most taxes. Squeezing every dollar out of you, every which way you turn, one subscription at a time. All right, let me read Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. That's them. What is derision? Too far. They're in derision. Let's see, to laugh, play, mock, to laugh, usually in contempt. And man, right? Why else would you be a proverb and a byword? Right? To make joke, to poke fun at your low estate, not knowing it was ordained and temporary. But they think that their houses will continue forever. That is why they think that, you will be where you are forever. Damn, houses continue. We need that too. We need it too. Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, which is why everything that had a name is no longer named that. Right? In Book of Daniel 7:25, I think, where it says he thinks to change times, right, and just completely, utterly destroy everything. Inward thought. I did read that. Okay, they call their lands by their own names. Yeah. I wonder what that reads in the NLT. Actually, before we go to Daniel 25, the grave is their eternal home, where they will stay forever. They may. That ain't it. Their dwelling places to all generations. They call their land. Huh? Okay. Huh. That's a weird. Those other ones. Sometimes, yeah, them other ones be weird. But we'll move on. I gotta come back to that one because the other translations didn't look right. So we'll do Daniel. Okay. I say he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Yep. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hands until a time and a times and the divining of times. All right. And we really just needed that first portion up here, because everything that you know or you knew prior to waking up was hinged off of, the vibration of E, right? Job 9:24. Earth was given into his hands. And with that, they do these things here. Let's see. Yeah, Ghislaine Lane, the only one. Jizz Lane, only one behind. I need to fast forward it too. I don't remember. Dang it, man. I don't remember. Recruitment and the payment of infrastructure behind all this. Right, there you are. There you have it. Those are those. That ain't what I was looking for, but we'll keep it moving. 'Cause I don't remember exactly what part I stopped on. But yeah, this is a whole operation, a whole freaking cabal, worldwide. Look at how many every year. Damn near 500,000 children. 250,000 in the entire quote unquote continent of Europe. Pseudo continent. Look at this shit, man. I wonder if they could. There is no exact total figure because they don't give a shit. They just be in there snatching them, and there you never know. Look at this. South Africa, Kenya. In Kenya alone, national authorities estimate that roughly 6,000 annually. It's just nowhere. They're nowhere to be found after that. So when you go to Revelation 6 and it tells you about him giving power to take peace from the earth, that's part of it. Dang it. I don't need 7. There you go. Second seal, war, famine, death. What are we talking about right now? What's in the news now? War, famine, death. When the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. Well, very soon here. I mean, I'm telling you, very, very soon, and they know it. All right, Revelation 12, 2 and 12, come down with great wrath, because he know but he had 2 and 10, because he had but a short time. Ain't that what it says? Let me see. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Okay, he is at the hear, let him hear. Huh, where is it? Is it 2? 10 and 2? No. 6. Is it? I don't know. Or is it Isaiah? I don't even know anymore. Short time. No, I can't even do it in here. We gotta go. Knoweth. The okay, short time, something like yeah. Where is that? 12 and 12. What was I was on 12, or was I in 10? I don't remember. 12 and 12. Straight to the point here. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell there in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. They have a very short time to fulfill that enterprise. And it will look like that they will, get it. But at the end, right when they try to sit down and enjoy it, it's over. Over. And call her Lord Yahweh Bashmi outside for it. Because could you imagine a world continued like this? A digital slavery. Can't go where you want to go. Can't eat what you want to eat. Cannot progress. Cannot make more money. Can't eat steak when you want steak. Why are you releasing ticks? That's another good. Okay, it rhymes with ain of unction. Okay, so we'll just call it GFT, GF ticks. There could be many, many beautiful inventions, but everything that they do is for death, is for famine. It is a death culture. It's a death style, not a lifestyle. Everything is just dying, withering away. And that is another reason why the scriptures also tell you, the days to be speed up, all right? Because no flesh will be saved. And if you have been in this truth for any amount of time, you understand that to be 144% true. You know it to be true. Because now that veil has been lifted and you know what things are supposed to be like, how things are supposed to be. And it grieves you to know that they are in such the estate that they're in. But I don't want to get a copyright. I can't play that. And I wanted to let it roll in the background, but we were getting our scriptures. Um, and this was supposed to be a backdrop, but also serves to show you that that famine of the word is well on its way. They've already started to throttle tons and tons of information, and you can't find anything. You got to look for independent sources. You got to, you know, go to world news or go somewhere that doesn't have the Western spin. So the Lord's working a work. He's showing you, if you have the eyes to see and ears to hear. He's showing you and then he's telling you. So with that being said, I truly pray that you were edified. I did bounce around quite a bit, and we didn't really have a dedicated subject, but precepts did come out in order, and uh, in order is not what I'm looking for. Nah, they came out properly, is what I should say, in their proper form and in their proper context, um, and sometimes the spirit be like that. It does. You bounce around. You gonna hear. I've heard videos like that, but those are somewhat usually when I listen to them, those are the best ones because it's one body and the spirit you're linked, so that understanding should just come. And if it doesn't, pray on it. If it's something that's too much for you to understand, for you to grasp at that time, okay, don't. But just understand that the time is winding down for us all, for us here, and you got to be fully persuaded. But I've ranted enough. I've said enough. I'm gonna end it here, man. I truly pray that you were edified, and shalom.